Welcome back to the Realistic Cattle Ranch Challenge on Sunshine Forest. I'm BP, and it's time to get to work. We're back in the fields in July, guys, just getting all of our 180 centimeter grass bales put into our silage roller. As you guys saw in the intro, we did have an Anderson merger come up in the sale, so I did swap that out for our Krone windrower. I like that Anderson better. I always have. The Krone's a great piece of equipment, but it's just so long, and we don't have huge straight fields, so getting turned around at the end and getting everything in place is a little bit challenging. And even though we lose a little less than a meter, but a little bit of working with the Anderson compared to the Krone, it's just a lot easier for me to use on the fields. So getting the last couple of bales in here, we got 14 grass bales off of our small grass field, and we got 17 240 centimeter square hay bales off of our big field. They're over there in the shed already. I did throw a couple in the breeding pen just to keep them topped off, but we are just about all set with our last batch of silage. Let's take a look at how this turned out. We have a lot of silage in reserve now, which is great news. So yeah, there they are. Those are all of our bales ready to turn into silage. The thing is snaking around a little bit. Let's actually jump out and see if we can finish this one off. Let's get in here. And what are the actual controls on this one here? Unload bales. Let's get them all pushed off and wrapped up, and they can be done and start their fermenting process. I thought moving the bales over here would be nicer. We'll be able to access them. We can actually pull our mixing wagon right over here by the chicken coop and load from here rather than tucking them around behind that other livestock pen where we got to drive around everything to get back to where we need to be. Let's leave that off. We just barely started getting through the bale wrap. We're like not even 7.5 out of 8. We're like 7 3/4. So this thing is using a lot less bale wrap than our regular bale wrappers. So with all that in mind, you guys can see I'll park the Massey over here. We do have just a ton of bales in our shed, which is great. We're going through them quickly. It's nice to have some backups. But we have almost, I think it's 2 complete rows of hay bales here. So let's jump out and just see what we have. Yeah, 41 hay bales. Still have 29 silage bales in there. A little bit of seed and lime as well, as you can see hanging out. So the next project for the day, getting the harvester up and running. Haven't used this thing since last year, last harvest. So let's go ahead and get pulled up and out of the shed. Easier if we can see what we're doing here. And we have wheat to harvest. So last time I think we got 27,000 liters off this field, if memory serves. So hoping to get at least that much, if not more. All right, looks like we're all unfolded and ready to go. Let's jump in here and get kicked on and start the harvest for year 3. We are in July, guys, which means it is our last month before going on to next year. So got a lot done, got a lot to show for it. We've got our nice wheat field expansion over here that's waiting for us. We will be getting the plow out when we're done with the field, getting all the straw off and everything else, and making that field significantly larger. So I'm hoping to add, 50 or 60% to the size of this field, which will help us quite a bit. And I do think for this harvest, we're going to have to figure out how to get the nitrogen fixed on this field. We did an application of liquid manure on this field with our slurry tank, And it helped, but it just is not getting enough on there. And I think it's not recognizing the crop type and the soil type because we don't have a sensor. So need to figure out either, maybe try a layer of manure before we plant, some solid manure, and just put it on the field and then plant and then go right back over with slurry would be one option. If we get the Iceria Pro comes on sale, we could always buy that, which would be helpful to have on the farm. Just as I said, it's a lot of money and we're trying to save up for a cow barn, so we'll have to sort of judge that on what the end cost is going to be. Or we can always look for a second tractor. We wouldn't need a very big one, but something that maybe comes with the Iceria Compact on it that we can use to, get a better nitrogen application on the field as well. So just have to keep checking our options and see what happens. We did have a couple more calves this morning, got those all transferred. Everyone's all set where they need to be. We are getting dangerously close. I think we're a couple months away from having 100 cows on the farm, which is an interesting benchmark for us for two reasons. One, it puts us 1/3 of the way to the 300 cows we need in total for this challenge. And it also puts us at a point where we don't have to do everything manually. Now, I've enjoyed doing a lot of the work manually, and I'm not sure that we're looking to change a lot of things, but some of the redundant tasks like the bale pickup, mowing the grass, that kind of stuff, we could start to either use an auto load or we could use an AI worker. But as of right now, I think we're going to stay manual for the foreseeable future, even if we hit 100 cows, just because it sort of fits the gameplay. It really is, the way this challenge is meant to be played. And truthfully, it's not that much work for 100 cows. Now, I don't know if we get to 150 or 200 and it suddenly seems like we're spending hours and hours doing the repetitive tasks, then we'll consider making some changes. But as of right now, I think one of the comments on an earlier video said that the struggle is really entertaining, watching how we have to make slow, consistent process, and I think that's what this challenge is about. Is really the grind of getting to where we need to be and not having a huge farm with all the best equipment and everything being easy. We're out here cutting our way in the world and making it work, and thus far we're only on even one piece of land on this map, and we haven't even used all of that. We're still have plenty of fields for our needs and plenty of space for our ranch. So, we'll probably just continue with that for a while. So I'm going to keep working on this field. I'll bring you guys back in when we're wrapping up with a total count on the wheat. So I will see you guys shortly. This is our last pass on the wheat field. All said and done. So all in, we had 7 trips to the chicken coop to empty. The capacity on this thing is 3,500 liters. So if my mental math is right, that's 24,500 liters in plus another 900. So we're basically sitting at 25,500. So maybe we did get 27 last time, maybe we didn't. But still a really good yield off that field. I'm excited for having that in the coop, and our chicken coop is up to 46, 47. Let's see, there we go, we're done. 47,443 liters. So they have lots of wheat in there for them to eat, and as we know, they're having 3 to 5 chicks at a time, so probably a bit important that they have some food in there. So that's going well. Let's get the straw windrowed and merged up and put away, but before we do that, last episode I said I was going to place a fuel tank and I didn't. I got distracted, and you'll see here in just a second. Let's lower the header down, take the header off for the season. Don't need all that pressure on everything. Okay, and turn it off. So as you'll see here, the fuel is blinking down in the bottom right corner. So we need to get fuel on the farm. And I'm thinking somewhere over here on the way in would be a good spot. So let's take a look and see what we have. All right, containers. All right, 5,000. Got a little one here. That's not a bad option. 10,000 for 10,000 liters. That is a lot. We do not need that much fuel on this farm. We are not running big equipment. Any other fuel stations? No. So I think we're just going to go with this little base game one. Let's zoom in. The trigger's on the front side. So maybe put it right up here. We want it next to the cattle pen. I guess that's the real question. Should we put it back in the yard somewhere? Is there a spot back here that maybe would be a little bit better? I don't really like it back there. I don't want it behind the shed. Yeah, I think we're going to go back over here where we were. I think we just put it back up here towards the top. Snap it into place. Get it nice and squared up with the fence. Great. We'll hit it with a quick soften. Oh, that's not soften. That's raise. Oh, did the wrong thing there, guys. Hold on. We don't want to be raising that. We definitely don't want to be doing that. Go a little bit of grass down where we accidentally picked it up. Okay. Now, drive our Fiat over here and get fueled up. No point in having our vehicles run out of fuel. That'd be a challenge. Alright, so it is $8,200 for 5,000 liters of fuel. I don't think we're going to need that much, guys. Let's go. It's 5,000. I think 1,000 liters of fuel. I mean, that seems like a lot for our little farm, our little ranch. But let's fill up 1,000 liters of diesel. We can actually jump out. Let's see about how much this thing's going to take. So the Fiat, all said and done, it was mostly empty. Call it 90% empty. We had 1,000 in here. It took just over 250 gallons, so it might be a 275 or 300 gallon tank. So yeah, I think 1,000 liters is plenty of fuel for our farm. Remember, we're getting ready to wrap up year 3 and go into year 4, and that's the first time we've had to fill the Fiat up. Now, it has gone 124 miles, which is no small feat since it really hasn't left the farm since the first episode. But it is not burning a whole bunch of fuel. So grab our new to us Anderson merger. Like I said earlier, you know, I prefer this one. It's horizontal. You know, the way it merges horizontally, it isn't long, so I can get in and out of the fields cleaner. I don't have to worry about going over stuff. It is a little bit narrower, but we're just gonna live with that. That's not going to be a big deal. So let's see if I can get this to hook and grab this stuff and pull it a little bit closer to the field. Let's get a right-hand merge going. Here we are. Yep, that's what we want. Alrighty. So, we're going to get all this merged up and ready to be baled. I think we'll run up to the animal dealer and see what animals they have for sale. We need to continue building our herd. We did put a bit of a dent in our money between trading for this Anderson merger, which was about $14,000 after we sold the Crone, and putting in the fuel tank and buying some fuel. So we are a little lower on funds than I'd like to be. We are getting to that point where, as I keep saying, we're going to need a barn, so may have to do a little bit of forestry between episodes. We are getting closer to October, which is when we're going to have our cheese to sell, and we do have a decent amount of cheese. We're not getting a ton of milk every day, still not enough buffalo milk to do anything with, but we are getting much closer. So that is a plus. Just going to see if I can hook this back onto the field entry. There we go. Be able to see that a little better if it's not in the grass. And we're back at it. So I like this one, as I said. It's got the flat working, the working width, so it's not really long. You can adjust either side. With the Anderson, with this one, you can do a middle merge too. So if you have some rows that just need to be brought together, you can put them in the middle, which works great. And I just prefer it. It's easier for me to use. I find I'm more comfortable with it driving the tractor. So when it came up in the sale, wanted to grab it. So after we get done with this, we'll head to the animal dealer. We might get this baled up this episode. We'll have to see. Maybe I'll bale it up and bring you guys in when I'm done. Because I do think that, you know, straw, we are out of straw on the farm. So while the wheat is nice, we are really doing all of this field work for the straw. And it'll be good to see how much we get out of it, because we've got all 6 of our calf huts that need straw. We have our birthing barn that needs straw. We could always be sort of watering down our TMR mix with straw, which wouldn't be a bad idea, but at this point we have so much silage and so much hay that it hardly seems like we're struggling to have enough food. But, you know, always good to have the straw around, never bad to have some excess on the farm, because we will eventually need and use everything. Think about 2 more passes here. We should be in good shape. Get this wrapped up. I do like how it leaves nice, neat rows for us, easy to pick up. I did, when we were doing the grass and the hay, it can merge enough grass and hay that it's hard for our balers to pick it up. So had to be a little bit careful not to merge too much together, because our balers were just going down and they weren't even able to pick it all up. So having to make 2 passes anyways doesn't really help us if we're trying to merge it and be more efficient. So keep an eye on that. Should be about our last pass. Might be a tiny bit left on the outside. I think we leave that dot. That's not a big deal. Nice quick work of that field. Looks nice and neat. Easy to pick up. Let's get this parked. Let's jump in the Scout, which also needs fuel. Not as badly as the Fiat did, but it does need fuel. Interesting on the door. You guys see the door on the Fiat keeps opening. I did make some adjustments on my controls, increase the dead zones, and decrease the sensitivity. And it doesn't seem... I mean, it's slowing down how frequently the door is opening, but I don't know if it's just having a little bit of sensitivity with the joystick or the Farmmaster Thrustmaster Farmstick, or if this mod is just very sensitive to that. But trying to get that door to stay closed be nice. In the winter, it's a bit chilly with the door open. So let's go ahead and leave the Fiat right here out of the way. And we'll jump into the Scout. Yeah, the Scout's not quite low on fuel, but it's very, very close. We'll grab our trailer. And get fuel on the way out. And after that, I will just see you guys up at the shop. So let's see... We're at, what, 747 on the fuel here? Yeah, 747. So let's go ahead and start that. Just curious to see how much this takes. Yeah, so that took less than 100 gallons. And it was mostly empty. So I might have a 100-gallon tank, 120-gallon tank. So again, I think 1,000 liters of fuel is going to be absolutely perfect for us. All right, I'm going to run up to the animal dealer. I will see you guys there. We are pulling into the animal dealer. Sure seems like we're here every day, and I think we are. Have to keep buying cattle if we're ever going to hit our goals. So let's actually turn the truck off real quick. So, oh, that's not what we wanted. Give me the cattle menu. There we are. Looking for some very good or excellent animals. Here is a 9-month-old, very high, extremely, extremely, and very good. This one is coming with us. Next one is bad. That one is very bad. Another very bad, extremely low health, extremely low metabolism. That is crazy. Holstein, very bad, very bad. We're not looking at any bulls. Angus, very bad. Man, we are not getting good options here, guys. Let's see. A good animal, a bad animal. Very bad, extremely low health. Nothing we're looking for. That's actually not a bad animal. $209. Breeder quality, very good. I think we take it just because we need some more animals. We cannot seem to find water buffalo, I'll tell you that. They are tough to find. So we're going to take 2 animals, guys. That is all we are taking out of that whole lot. I wish we had a couple more. It'd be nice. Let's jump into the sale real quick. Make sure there's nothing there that we absolutely can't do without. The Load King Distinction Triple Hopper would be nice, but we have nowhere near that much crop to get off the field. An 8RT would be fun, but again, way too much tractor for what we need. Yeah, still got a Merlot in the sale. Love that. Just don't have any need for it. The Colossus Bale Master is interesting. We could do some loose stuff, but that'd be a huge financial conversion we just don't have the money for. So yeah, I think that's going to be about it. There's nothing else new. We've seen all of this stuff before. I do like the way the new versatile stuff looks from the new DLC. So I have to keep an eye on that. Yeah, I think that's going to be it, guys. There's nothing else here that we really need. Does the little Fiat come with grid, beacon, fender, exhaust, wheel? Yeah, this one doesn't have Iceria compact on it either, so that wouldn't be bad for 22 grand. But it doesn't have what we need, so. All right, I'm going to run these guys back to the ranch. We'll grab the baler, get all the straw baled up so we can get a count on that, and I'll see you guys back there in a sec. We are back on the ranch, guys. Let's get these 2 cattle to their new homes. The adolescent will go in the breeding pen until it's ready, and the baby will find an igloo with an empty spot for it. So let's see, swinging in over here. And our brown Swiss, we're going to move. Oh, did we buy a bull after all that? Oh, don't tell me we bought a bull. Was I not paying attention? Could be. All right, well, if we bought a bull, we bought a bull. He's got to go in the other pen. We'll have to check. I swear it was a heifer we were buying, but may have just messed that one up, guys. Let's see. Move to husbandry. Great. Come in here, and our new brown Swiss bull. Okay, we're still having problems getting the right animals moved to the right places. Let's see. The Hereford calf needs to go back into the trailer. Great. Now, the brown Swiss bull. Yeah. I mean, I guess we just didn't. I didn't read that, and I missed that. I messed that one up. So we're going to get a name change on there. Godfrey, and you are July of year 3. Done and done. And our little, is it a limousine calf? Hereford calf, maybe? We'll see. Who do we think has room? Thinking maybe this guy right here. Let's see. Nope, that one's got 5. So let's try straightening out a bit. How about this one? That one's got 5. The inns are full, guys. Lots of calves all over the place. Try the right-hand side. See if we can get anything in there a little easier. How many we got? 4. Perfect. Winner. Move to husbandry. Excellent, excellent. Rename this guy. Bertha. July of 3. And that is done. May even be able to make this corner. Oh, look at that, like a pro. Okay, so I think the last task for today is going to be to get that straw baled up. So we'll grab our John Deere square baler. All of our straw previously was round bales, but there's no real benefit to having them as round bales, so we're going to do them as square bales for speed. So we get the truck parked out of the way for us. Let's grab the Fiat. Grab the baler. And let's see how many bales we get off of this field. Have to make sure we reset the bale counter so we can keep track. Let's do that before we forget. Alright, so the John Deere square baler has made 64 bales so far in its lifetime with us. The counter's back to 0. Get it unfolded. Sneak through here. Lower and turn on. And we are cooking with gas. This is a nice windrow size for this baler. Got a lot of it merged together, but it's not so big that the baler can't handle it. It's nice when you don't have to go around and pick up a whole bunch of loose pieces that you missed. I find, and you guys, tell me what you think, but I find using a baler on the corners, I generally, if it's an inside corner, try to align my inside tire with the middle of the windrow to keep the baler on track. So you watch here, I'll swing out a little bit and put my tire right where that ridge is. And that seems to give me a good swath pickup. But what do you guys use as your markers when you're baling, or you just go around and grab what you can and go back and grab what you missed afterwards? But that's the technique I use. Leave me a comment down below. Tell me how you guys do it. Do you do narrower windrows? There's a windrow mod, or the baler mod with a windrow on it already. Those are nice for using for this stuff. So, what's your tip? What's your trick for baling up windrows of grass or straw or whatever else? I did see a map came out today. Well, it didn't come out today. It was updated today, and I don't remember which map it is. But you could make, oh goodness, I'm going to forget what it was. I think clover bales. Thought that was really interesting. So I'm looking at, where we might start our next series already. Might start a series before this one wraps up. Been thinking about doing another big style American farm or North American farm like we did on Missouri River Bottom, just to see what we get. And there have been a couple nice mods that came out recently that could do that. And one of the things I think would make the playthrough a lot more fun on a new map is having some additional crops as compared to just the standard sort of cereal crops and a couple of root crops and corn and that kind of stuff. So when I saw that you could do clover bales, I thought that was very, very interesting. I'd like to see, what do you feed that to? Does it work with realistic livestock modding? Or realistic livestock to mod? How does it interact with all that kind of stuff? So 5 total bales off of this field. I think we got a little piece over here at the beginning to pick up. Yeah, right here. We'll go drop these 2 bales next to the birthing pen or the birthing barn. So we know we'll just drop them in there right off the bat. Let's swing through here. And actually, you know what I might do? Use our big brain here. Let's get the gate open. Stay in there, ladies. No escaping. Let's get this. And let's just put the bales right in there. Let's not even have to handle them anymore after this. So, unload the bales. Yeah, that took us up to 8 bales, guys, so that was good news. Anything else in there we can get out? Tip it up. Come on, fall out there, little bale. There we go. Jump out here, close the gate. Are we full on straw already? Could be, let's see. Straw, yeah, they're full, so those bales will work their way in. That'll be great. We won't have to give them straw for a little while. which is nice because it's been tough managing so few straw bales as we had last time. Swing by our eggs. See about getting the baler tucked back into the shed. Perfect. We are in and done. Very, very good. So let's do a quick recap of where we are with our animals. We have 20 animals in our breeding pen. We had the accidental bull we bought today. So we have another 7. So we're up to 27 animals. I think we have about 30 in here, don't we? We have 30 in here, so that's 57. And then we have... Oh, that guy's got to get moved. He grew up today. So 57, that looks like 62. Another 4 in here is 66. We know both these on the right have 5, so that's 10 total, so that's 76. Plus 5 is 81. Plus 5 is 86, guys. So we have 86 cattle on the farm. And just for fun, it doesn't matter. But how many chickens are we up to now? Let's see. 12 chickens. So we're in good shape. And there's going to be a lot more coming because most of these guys that are old enough are, yeah, 5 babies, 3 babies, 5 babies, 5 babies. Got a lot of animals. We will have to sell off those roosters at some point because they're not producing eggs. But regardless, so, you know, 80, what do we say, 86 cattle on the farm. We have a lot of pregnant females over here getting ready to give birth. If we take a quick look at that, let's see, there's 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 14, 17, 18, 19, 21, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 29, 30. So we still have 30 calves on the way, guys. So within the next 10 months, because I don't know how pregnant all those calves are, all the cows are in there, we're going to have over 100 cattle. Plus, we're trying to buy a couple every day. So we are very close to breaking the 100 cattle on the Cattle Ranch Challenge here. Exciting stuff as we wrap up year 3. Lots of progress since year 1. We've got a great set of equipment now. We've got our field set up. We are getting into a rhythm, and this is turning into a really exciting series. So thank you so much for joining me today. Don't forget to leave a like and drop a notification to see more videos, and we'll see you in the next one.